Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am PA Kenny USA, and welcome to Shores of Sorrows, Supera's Legend, our Sea of Thieves inspired RPG tabletop homebrew game. I am your host and GM for today's game. Let me bring in our fellow pirates on this adventure so that they can introduce themselves. Alright, guys. Who do we have on deck?
Yarg. Okay. I haven't done this character in a while.
It's been a while since we've set sail, so...
Yeah. Just... Ahoy, my friends! It is me, Britlin. I am your friendly British pirate. Not captain, I mean, sorry. He's the captain over there.
Excuse me.
And,
Thank you.
And I have my really nice cat and some great tea if you want to join us on this adventure. Come and sit down and have some tea with me.
And who else do we have?
Well, there's Osteron, the totally not suspicious crew member.
With the totally not suspicious pervy name.
He's very sus right now.
I reminded you of that
sorry.
joke, yes.
Oops, sorry, wrong game.
And I am the... sometimes hasn't gotten her sea legs. Fighter, fur. Magni.
Yes.
Hello. I'll eventually get my sea legs.
Yes.
Maybe. Possibly. Or maybe not. I haven't decided yet.
Alright, well, if we stop by, Pikey's Prosthetics, you might get them. Alright,
Yeah.
and who do we have standing in the back, looking all intimidating and...
Hello, my darlings. I am Brunira, the steward.
Oh, God.
Got the voice.
Oh, Cloudbox is back.
Welcome to the adventure. Come along.
I say no, I'll stay on the shore. No, thank you.
Oh, God. You brought Clownbox back. Oh, God.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Season 1, Episode 4, Turmoil at Tiberon's Temple, Part 1. We'll be jumping into the intro, and then we'll be hopping into the game. Stay tuned.
Oh. Alright, I'm pressing it.
We have an Astrum overboard.
What do I tell you,
I don't
Luigi?
understand why that happens every time.
Luigi, I keep telling you to fix
I
your
think I know why it happens every time.
It's okay.
Yeah, I think I
There it
figured
goes.
it out.
I should be back though.
Yeah, it's back.
I believe I figured out why it happens every time.
Why?
Because his camera is camera shy.
Nice.
It explains why it keeps happening. It's shy. It's not ready for the big screen.
I don't use it very often.
Yeah, I mean, you don't use it very often, so it has time to go, okay, I'm safe. I'm gonna do this, I'm safe. And then when you turn your eyes, like, no, don't do that!
Alright. So, where our adventurers last left off, if you guys, since it's been so long, I took the liberty of reminding myself.
We were fighting more skeleton pirates, and I got really, really upset with it.
Well, the skeleton pirates actually, we're gonna fast forward a day, and you guys.
The skeleton pirates left.
Yes, we're gonna fast.
That part. They departed, trying to leave us sinking.
Yeah. So your ship's been repaired at the shipwright after that ordeal. You guys are in the local tavern, one of the more nicer taverns for this town of Marauders Bay. And your guys are up in your rooms. Are you guys in separate rooms? Are you guys in all one room? What's the situation with the tavern?
That is a very good question.
I'll let you guys have 2 separate rooms if you want. But you guys will have to bunk up to a room.
Well, I would like Bernira to stay on the ship with the Megalodon.
Well, the thing is, the ship's being repaired. It's in, like, not dry dock, but, you know, like, the shipwright's repair place, and they're working on fixing in the leaks and holes in it.
Probably lifted out of the water.
It is,
It's like,
yes.
It's like on one of those, I forgot what it's called. It's got rigged.
Slip. I think it's called a slip.
Yeah, like
Slip.
So she's sleeping on the back of the Megalodon now.
Okay. Like,
it's outside.
and the tavern's, like, maybe, like, a couple, like, on the very
A couple of
end.
yards away.
On the very end of the docks.
Okay. You said that we can have 2 rooms?
Yes, if you'd like. Alright.
I will take one of the rooms.
Alright.
My character takes one room too, because who wants to hear him drinking tea, talking to his cat?
And, Astram, where are you? Which room are you in?
I guess probably Britlin's room.
Alright, so you're putting up with Britlin and his tea drinking shenanigans?
just all you hear is going. Nothing like a good tea in the middle of the night. Oh, you cat. Oh yeah.
And the rooster crows, and you just hear seagulls outside as the sun streams in through the windows on your beds. The drapes are kind of just blowing in the breeze slightly. It's a sunny day out. Good for a sail.
Yes.
You guys can, each of you can smell the delicious smell of waffles. Well, not waffles, but like pancakes, bacon, and eggs downstairs in the tavern. And
Magni will pick up her stuff because she knows that the ship is... I'll be right back!
Alright. Bernier is still asleep on the deck.
We were told that the ship was going to be done today, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Also, since everyone got a long rest,
Right.
yep, everyone gained health.
Oh
I don't
god.
need that, so...
Well, my character did.
So did
My
I.
character needed it because I had 10 out of 15 health, so I lost my
Yes.
health.
Yep. Alright.
Osram will come downstairs.
Alright, so
Whitman will also with his cat on his shoulder. He walks down
Yep.
with his cane.
Yeah, Magni has had her first really good rest in a long time.
do you want to sleep in a little bit, or like... Okay, you're still in bed, kind of curling up in the sheets and slightly tossing and turning a little bit, but like the comfortable tossing and turning, just like shifting position and stuff. And you hear the footsteps of Astram and Britlin and his cane clicking down the stairs to the tavern's lobby.
I didn't realize it's like a metal tip, so you would hear his cane hitting against the wood.
Yep.
And my character would go, huh? What? Stretch, you hear things pop.
Yep. And you remember a dream last night, a very vivid dream of you were in this what looked like a kind of ancient temple kind of place, and you saw this kind of, it's a little hazy, but it looks like a reliquary of some kind with a emerald on the center, like a center gem, surrounded by 2 sapphires and 2 rubies, and it's all golded gilt. And you were holding it in your hands right before the dream ended, and you remember a voice, but you can't make out that voice because you bolted upright, kind of like in the middle of the night before you fell back asleep, and had other vivid dreams about other things. So you just had a nightmare like in the middle of the night, and then it went back to bed.
Okay, that was weird. She gets out of bed, she does her things, and then she comes, she's packing up her stuff, which isn't a lot,
Yep.
mind you.
Yeah.
And she opens the door, she's going to join Britlin and Astram
At the table downstairs. At the booth.
downstairs.
The booth.
We're down here, and I just like my cane. I just put my cane down, but it's just doing the thing, just balancing in place.
It's just standing.
Okay.
It's just like you set it down and it goes.
I can't see what you're.
I know.
trying to do.
It's like lying on. You set it down like on the bench, and it just goes straight upright again. It's always vertical.
Oh yeah, I forgot that's how that works. He says we're grabbing it and putting it down on the floor.
I am back.
Yep.
Cool.
All right. So the local, I don't want to say wench, but the local mistress of the tavern comes by and says, "Hello, what will it be?" And she's holding like a very, like, basically like a driftwood clipboard, and she's writing down orders.
Yeah.
I'll take eggs, please.
Will it be the morning platter, or will it be the supreme platter?
The morning platter will be sufficient.
All right, that'll be 3 copper and 2 silver.
I'd also like,
I hope I can pay for it. Yeah,
I'd
go
like,
ahead.
I'd like pancakes, eggs. I love the smells that I'm smelling right now.
The bacon. All right.
Yeah.
She says, "So you want the supreme platter? Very well. That'll be 1 gold.
Well.
And what about you, sir?" He's pointing to
Well-
Britlin. She.
I would like to take. Do you have waffles? I'm pretty sure yes. He says we're putting his.
We can make waffles. I mean, we have a skillet.
Ah. Well, fine. I'll take pancakes. I'll take pancakes as well, bacon as well, and something for my cat here. He says, well. petting
She
his
looks.
cow.
She looks down at the cat and says, "I think we can arrange something for the little fuzzy one." And she says, "It'll be 10 silver, and 1
Okay.
gold piece for your meal."
My cat just nods his head a little bit.
All right. And she hurries off with your order, and then stops, turns around, and comes back and says, "And what would you like to drink with your meal? I almost forgot.
What
We
kind of
have-
drinks do you have?
We have fresh pineapple juice squeezed this morning. We have the succulent oranges of Sugar Grove Cove, and we have coffee, tea. We have some obviously all the morning favorites." And she points to the liquor list on the board on the the wall.
My character just goes, what kind of teas you have?
We have herbal, we have English breakfast, we have Earl Grey. And she comes back with she pulls out like a box from like one of the side cupboards, and she pops it open and presents like all these little tea bag things.
He points to one of them. I'm just gonna have him pick randomly.
Alright, I'll roll a d6 to see which one. Alright, she pulls out a mint tea, and she says, peppermint tea, and she says, ah, excellent choice. In season, I see. I'll brew that up right away. And she, says, anything else for everyone else?
I'll take coffee.
One coffee, caffeine, or no caffeine?
Caffeine, please.
I need to wake up, damn it. I've been kept... This damn British man has been keeping me up.
Alright. Alright. And she writes that down.
As she's taking the orders,
Mm-hmm.
the front door of this little tavern thing slams open.
Gust of wind.
And everyone sees a very sleepy, almost sleep-deprived Rhaenyra standing in the doorway.
She's like leaning up against. She's leaning up against.
She looks tired and angry at the same time.
She's like leaning up against one of the side doors, kind of like holding on to it for support because she's so tired.
Oh!
Yeah, but she looks angry too.
What's with the face?
The music in the tavern.
Does the tavern goes direct?
The music in the tavern just kind of abruptly stops, and then like
Every time
everyone
you go
just
into a tavern,
everyone just drops their fork. You hear a couple forks and like knives clatter on the thing as everyone just turns around and shifting of chairs, and then everyone just looks at the front door. And then people are just like, the barmaid says, "All right, enough. Back to what you were doing," and the music resumes, and then everyone's just like back looking, like enjoying their meals and stuff like that.
they're trying to not look at her, but they keep like giving side glances.
Like people are like down in their food, like concentrating on their food and not talking to each other and stuff like that as they're just like eating. This conversation's kind of dulled.
Yeah, Magda will look up for Nira. Did you get any sleep last night?
No, I didn't.
And the captain.
Megalodon would not let me sleep. He was suffering nightmares.
Ugh.
Nightmares of a temple?
Roll me a insight check, Mag.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Wouldn't that be more of a constitution since she's trying to wake up?
I mean, you know what? Let's make it interesting. Constitution saving throw.
Oh no, she face plants.
She just steps forward and falls straight into one of these tavern patrons' meal, like face first, and he just like straight onto the dish while he's like has it off to the side and he was about to eat his like a salad. The greens go flying in the air and like croutons and everything go flying up in the air as like there's a clatter. She rolls off the table and thumps to the floor, and the guy just looks at her and says, the guy at the table just like kind of jumps and kind of like stands up and says, "Did I do something?" And he's like pointing at the motionless sea witch and says,
No.
I think she's tired.
I think she's tired.
the barmaid comes around and says, "Oh dear." And she looks at the customer and says, "I'll get you a new salad. One moment." And she picks up the limp heap of Bernier and says, "Why is she all slimy? Ugh, yeah." Because remember, she's still wearing the seaweed dress. The seaweed dress.
Yeah, she is. Magda will look at the serving girl. She is a sea witch. Did you just bring that unconscious body over here?
It's our problem, not yours.
She just drags the body across the floor, leaving like a slick kind of like seaweedy mess, and she says,
Some waiter steps on it and slips.
waiter with the
Jellyfish dress, yeah.
second salad just slips, falls, and the salad goes flying again.
Yeah, it's a jellyfish dress.
Oh, right.
And the barmaid comes to you dragging and just kind of drops her into like one of the nearby booths in your little cubby area, and just kind of like holds out her hand expecting something.
My character will take some determined amount of money. Thank you.
She nods, takes it, and leaves.
It's like, you better pay me for this. I didn't want to do this.
She wanted to be tipped, and so I.
Yep. So,
So we have a sleeping, and I look at Britlin and Azrael.
and Brynira is just kind of lying across like Britlin's legs and stuff like that. Because there's not enough room on the table, so they just kind of like hefted her up onto people's legs and kind of stretched her across people while they're eating.
So Magda kind of looks at this and, you know, I never did get an answer to my question.
Well, that's interesting.
I had a nightmare that I don't remember very much of, and it was about a temple.
Mm-hmm. The temple, you
And-
said.
Yeah, a temple, and there was talking in it, but I don't remember the talking.
All right, one of the patrons behind you overhears your conversation and says, "A temple, you say?" As he turns around and shifts in his seat.
And
Well-
I turn around and look at him. The temple, I say.
And
What
he's scraggly, kind of like heavy bearded, kind of like bushy beard.
He looks like a lumberjack.
He's like a lumberjack, but he's not like burly. He's just kind of like medium size. But he's like one of the dock hands, and he says, "I remember a vessel coming in from there. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't nice, and they spoke of a legend, the legend of Tiberon, a great and powerful pirate who hoarded treasure. However, he was so greedy, in fact, he built a temple to store all his riches. And this temple is located in a place far away. I have information on it, if I can just..." He rummages around in his sack. "Ah, yes, here it is. I'll give you the information you need for your adventure if you're planning on going there, but it will cost you
How much?
4 gold pieces."
Do we have homegrown pieces among us?
Well,
The captain has... Hold on, I'm checking the captain. The captain has... Hold on. Captain equipment. Oh wow, the captain has plenty. The captain just says, "Don't mind me." He just kind of reaches over and drops 4 of these gold pieces into the lap of the guy. Hold on, I need to go 4
tiny
minus...
little- I forgot how short our captain was.
Yep. Alright, there we go. Alright,
Since
and...
Rhaenyra is passed out, like
Yep.
on Britlin's legs,
Yeah.
My legs.
if he was to roll a perception check and get a high enough perception, he could see something special happening.
Go ahead. If
What
you'd like to
was-
roll.
Roll
Perception.
perception.
Yep.
Roll perception.
What is my perception? Oh yeah, I think I may have to make my cat do this for me.
Yep. Your cat's
I
like
like
kind of like on the table licking like a bowl of porridge and milk and like small little giblets of
My
something.
cat has like a +1, so cat
Yep.
roll. I rolled a 4. Crap.
The cat's more interested in the food than anything else.
Okay, fine. Old one will roll with
Cats do.
Alright.
this -1% because the hell. Oh, it's 17. Cool.
There you go. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So you look down at Rhaenyra sleeping on your lap. You can see bubbles moving about in her dress.
Britton looks at the rest of the party. Something is happening with Bernera. Kind of weird.
The captain looks over and says, I don't know what that is, but apparently she's completely out.
Yes, and can we get the information first?
Hoaxer.
The gentleman hands the captain a rolled up, tied like map scroll, and he says, "You'll find the information you seek in here. You want to chart a course for Shackleton's Cove."
Shackleton's Cove.
But be wary. Not all adventurers return from this journey.
Let's get our foods.
Your meal comes and is set before you.
We have to do something about her, pointing to Bernera.
Who's still lying across her lap.
Wake up! Wake up!
No,
Are you gonna
No.
be like? What are you doing? Are you slapping her?
No, I'm just kind of
Shaking her.
Gently shaking.
really gently, because he doesn't really want to wake her up, but he's just like, what do you want me to do then? Looking at freaking Magdi.
All right, so let's.
And then we'll deal with.
Okay.
Alright.
He's just lightly putting her, like, setting her onto the ground next to him instead of on top of him, so he can eat easier.
She's just kind of stretched out on the floor next to your booth, and the barmaid has to walk around him, step over her to get.
She's a water hazard.
Yep.
But I just quickly eat.
One of the like the barmaid actually comes out from the bathroom and puts like one of those like wooden like rope signs that says "Caution, wet floor."
Nice.
I love that idea.
Britland just quickly enough. She's like, oh, okay, that was pretty good actually.
Yeah, Asram will eat. He'll put some of the eggs up his sleeve for his pet snake. He saves one sip of coffee, and he will attempt to give it to Bernera.
Oh no!
I don't want to see Vanera hopped up on caffeine, but okay.
As you open her mouth and pour it in, Brunier, roll a Constitution saving throw.
I rolled an 11.
You manage to stir slowly, but you're like coughing and wheezing as the coffee kind of just.
You weren't expecting the coffee. No one can expect the coffee.
I'm going to kill you.
Okay.
You did wake up.
Hey, it
Bernera,
worked.
You fell flat in somebody's salad.
I don't care.
Wait,
As you
saw-
have salad like dressing all over her face and like
He
you can't
takes off, like,
you
a
can't
salad.
you can't tell what is seaweed and what is salad.
Wait, this is salad. Nope, this is salad. Aha.
As you're pulling like seaweed out of her hair and like salad and
Don't bother, I'll take care of it. As she just absorbs like the salad into her skin and the microbes start eating it.
Damn.
the captain just kind of looks at like a slight eyeball in one direction, just kind of like goes back to eating his food while trying not to throw up in it.
Okay, I already had.
Magdi is continuing to eat her eggs.
Luckily, I'm already done with my food, so he
Yep.
just was sitting up.
And
Bernier reaches up on the table and is like patting around for more food. Because she can't see what's up there. She's on the floor. But she's like tapping on the table, trying to
like
find
like one of these taloned hands, like from like what is it, like that scene in what is it, the Wizard of Oz, where like the taloned hand is just like clacking on the table.
It's just, it's just Bretland just says to the party, "Watch out! There's a wide banana hand on the loose.
I see
Keep
that.
your food up."
I am not going to do that.
And the captain
Yeah,
says,
kind of pushes over some of the bacon towards the talent hand.
She grabs a handful of it, pulls it off the table. Comedy already! Yay!
Yay!
And the captain is like looking at this scroll while he's like sipping on his coffee and like kind of looking at it, and he says, "Interesting. I haven't been here in a while. Alas."
So what is this island?
He slides over the map, and it's kind of like this it's this crescent-shaped mountainous island, volcanic. And but the thing is, it's interesting. On the drawing, it looks like the volcano is dormant and iced over,
Right.
frozen, and the entire island looks like it's covered in a shroud of snow, and there's storms.
My character just like looks at it. Well,
It's a living map, so it's like enchanted.
he goes, well, that's a thing. While taking take a sip of tea. I love sound effects that I can just make for real.
And he points to this like large kind of like structure inside the volcano, like the top of the volcano. It's perched on top of the volcano, sticking out, and you see like this golden gilded kind of like tower jutting out of the volcano. He says, "That's where I think the temple is, but how to get in?" And it mentions like on the back of the thing lots of traps and like various protections to keep the gold, based on the legend, safe.
Well, if it's up there at the top of the volcano, one might think that we go from the bottom of the volcano all the way up.
You do have a valid point, but he's like examining the map closely. He's gonna roll in perception check.
Can Magdi roll a perception check?
Go ahead. If you'd like to assist, you can. Perception is
Ooh, okay.
21 plus whatever you got.
I had a 15.
All right, so she, with your assist, she, the captain just gets, looks at the map and says, "There's a wooded area here that's covered in. That might be a cave, but I'm not sure. Based on the angle this map was drawn in, it could be anything. We'll have to go there to investigate if everyone is interested in getting a little bit of gold."
I wouldn't mind getting gold.
Gold is useful.
Well, see, here's the thing.
Gold's nice.
I need to get my sea legs, and I'm not getting my sea legs sitting here on the shore.
Yeah.
That's a valid argument. He finishes his cup of coffee and kind of sets it down and says, "Well, it's about time I go check in with the shipwright. Excuse me." And he just kind of like shimmies up over Rhaenyra's like dress, kind of like, and then flops face first onto the floor as he's like shimmying over her. Gets up, crawls, and then runs out of the door to the shipwright.
I'd like the remainder of the crew to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
The captain is not included, right?
Yeah, no. He's
Okay.
already out the door.
Okay, yep.
He's like, I'm out of here.
I rolled a natural 20.
And the various
rolled-
NPCs in
Oh,
the
the
various NPCs and the thing going to need to roll it as well.
Oh, okay, hold on. I have to roll. I'm gonna roll.
Just
2D
roll once for all of them.
Okay,
I rolled the
alright.
worst thing I could roll.
Oh no.
I had a minus.
What'd you roll, Trish?
I had a 17 altogether.
Okay, you managed to resist.
Let's
Alright.
just say I rolled a really low number and I had a -1 to it. So this means I rolled
Uh-oh.
2 and I got a 1.
Alright, what'd the NPCs roll?
They rolled a 9.
Okay, yeah, everyone but, Astrom and Trish are gonna face plant. The Megalodon has just smacked the side of the building with its tail angrily.
Ow! Whoa!
The building kind of shakes, and
It isn't Rhaenyra, it's the Megalodon. It's
Well-
not happy that she's inside.
Magdi looks at Bernero. What the hell?
as you like, there's a window next to you, like at each like of these little like things, so you can see like the crest of the not tail, but what is it?
The
the fin just kind of slowly float by, and some of the patrons, before they notice this, they just look up from the meal and just see like this fin go by, and they're like, one just shouts, "Shark!"
My character gets up, like fixing up his little bucket because like you fell face first into the bucket.
Yep.
Okay, I think I broke something. He says, well, like, adjusting his bucket.
Yep.
Rude. He says, we're pointing out the window.
Alstrom's gonna quietly leave the tavern, like just boop, out the door.
Let's leave.
I will attempt to go take care of it. And she tries to pull herself up.
Are you all right, Bernera, or
I may need help back to the dock.
I will come with you.
The Megalodon is terrified he's going to have those dreams again.
I'm terrified that I'm going to have dreams.
As you guys are kind of like carrying, like arm, like shoulder, like helping Bernier out, the wind's kind of picked up around town, around the docks, because it's like a cold front's coming in. And it's getting a little bit windier, but you know, it's not like stormy or anything like that. It's just windier. Slightly like partly cloudy, just wind.
Okay.
And come out to the docks, and you see your ship parked into being let out of the boat slip as the new ship, which you guys haven't named, I don't believe. I don't remember the name if we already named it, but
It's the funny ship with the funny friend.
yep. And it's just being let back into the water, and the shipwright's approaching the group, and he says, good morning, welcome. I believe your vessel is ready, and are you going to be staying any longer, or are you headed out? He looks at the crew, just like awkwardly. And what's wrong with her? He points to Bernera.
Fine. Too tired. Not much sleep, you know. The character says, while using his cane to prop himself up as he's trying to help Bernera here.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna cost you 38 gold for the repairs.
Ow, my head. Again.
At the mention of 38 gold, Rhaenyra's gonna pop both eyes open.
Bernera's gonna throw up gold, anyways.
No, she's not gonna throw up gold.
That's a funny joke.
She is going to, in her tired, angry-looking face, like resting bitch face, she's gonna roll an intimidation check.
Oh no!
No.
I'm going to contest that with a I'm gonna roll a Constitution saving throw.
Okay,
All right, what did you get?
I got a 17 total.
He just looks at you and says, I've seen Hag's face, but I haven't seen Hag's face like that. Plus, you know, my mother's pretty crotchety too, so nice try. He rolled a
What did he roll?
21 with bonus modifier.
That's shit.
That's a pussy roll.
Next time, I'll feed you to my Megalodon, and we'll see just how courteous you really are.
Bagdai is standing next to Bernera. Be nice.
And he
We're
says,
not gonna get our ship back.
the repairs were quite extensive. If you want me to do any other work on your vessel, next time it won't be as thorough. He turns and leaves.
Angry.
Yep.
Angry Alexa in the background.
Alright.
It just Britley goes, wait a minute. Isn't that... I'm pretty sure he's not going to be too happy. No, I kind of forgot we had a friend on the ship, didn't we?
We did.
Quote unquote friend.
The captain comes walking up
Isn't much of an ass.
and says, "Well, the ship is ready if we are ready to get underway. If we need anything else, supplies, cargo, goods, now is the time. You have 1 hour."
Right.
Are we going to need cold weather gear? The map seemed to imply that the island was a cold climate.
You have a point. I totally forgot about that. And he says, "I believe there's a outfitters somewhere around here." And he comes up to a dockhand. "You there, young chap?" "Yes." "I would like to inquire about the location of the clothing merchant." "It's up there on the hill." "Thank you." And he hurries off, leaving the rest of the party to kind of just, do what they want to do.
Well, we should
Well, right now they're attempting to get Brunira on the ship.
to the ship.
Yeah. Yeah, so you guys are kind of like hauling Bernier up the ladder onto the ship, or the gangplank, I should say.
Gangplank.
Yep.
You guys need to roll a dexterity saving throw, both of you.
Okay.
Up! Dies. Dex saving throw, go!
So Magdie's carrying? Is Astron carrying? Or who
They're
else?
both. No. It's Britlin and
Oh,
Magdie.
okay.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
And-
Jesus! This is the first time it's happened! 9!
Uh-oh.
Gonna buckle!
I have a 15.
No. You both lose your grip on his slippery body. She falls in the water.
What?
Astron's
Fingers!
gonna peer over the railing and say, "Well, she can swim."
As you just see this jellyfish dress just kind of billow out, and it's just like...
I look over at Britlin and go, Butterfingers! I thought you had her!
Why fricking me? My ankle twisted, okay?
I
stepped
thought
on
you
it.
had her!
I thought you had her!
I'm sure she'll be fine.
The Megalodon swims up to Bernier and just kind of scoops her up onto its back. It just kind of sits there, kind of like, if a Megalodon could purr, it's purring. Bubbles from its mouth.
Bubbles are just rising up as it's...
See, that even calmed the Megalodon down, so that was probably a good outcome.
Bernira, are you alright?
Alexa just sticks his head out of the side of the ship. What's going on? Ow!
Like you see one of the like, various like jellyfish creatures inside her dress, kind of like listing to the side lazily.
Uh-huh.
Damn.
All the critters that are in her dress have kind of slowed down, like they're swimming really slowly through her dress.
Uh-huh.
This is an indication that she's not okay.
Huh.
She doesn't look fine.
But
What do you
Magda
think?
still wants an answer. That's the point here.
She kind of raises her finger and like puts one finger up and then flops it back down.
And the water splash.
Alexa's just like,
And
no, I
now-
wasn't
now-
paying attention.
Yeah, and now Magda kind of looks at the Megalodon. Are you going to let her sleep?
What?
Roll me an Arcana. I know your Arcana ain't that good, but roll me an Arcana.
I'll also take animal handling.
Yeah, do animal handling instead.
I'll do animal handling because that actually has something in it.
Okay, yeah, do animal handling.
Ooh, 15.
That works. Inside your head, you see this, like, almost glittering image.
Uh-huh.
And it's the Megalodon. He's kind of swimming around in your psyche.
Uh-huh.
I am no longer having nightmares of this strange place. She will rest, and I will guard her.
You know you're creepy when you do that? She actually
Most
looks-
creatures that are not magical find it creepy.
That's fair. We're going on the
And
ship.
just the particles just wink out.
Yeah. Magda just kind of looks out and just, we're going on the ship now.
Are-
And
are-
just gotta go.
I need to go shopping at the outfitter. I'm not very well suited to
Oh, well,
deployment.
yes.
The particles disappear because the particle budget maxed out.
All right. So you guys are on the ship, and what is Alexo doing as you guys board the ship?
Alexa's just like, no. Oh, you know how much it hurts when people are hammering senselessly into your own body, pretty much. Oh, very. It's not comfortable. Can you just block it out? No, I can't. When I'm part of a ship, I'm a part of the ship.
And
Jeez.
I'm sorry, but they did have to fix the ship after that last battle, and you can't exactly come off the ship while they're doing that because you're attached to the ship. You know, this is making my head hurt.
At least it's not as bad as having my plaque literally shoved into water for at least 2 minutes.
and the plaque is now on the back of the ship, because
It's like in the safest location it can be placed for now.
yeah. Because the shipwright found it, and he's like, "What do I do with this?" And Alexo's like arguing at the shipwright, like, yeah, like, what is this piece of junk doing here? And Alexo just had like a back scene, kind of like side
He
scene.
almost threw it off the freaking ship. He's like, no!
Yeah.
I almost got killed at least 2 times today because these freaking people did not know what to do with my plaque.
Just be cool, and maybe we can find a way for you to come with us, so you're not attached to the ship. Because I'm pretty sure that you're interested in where we're going.
Well, I'm kind of locked to the plaque. If you could find something to attach me to, like something that I can move, like a suit or something, I could probably take over it if you put a plaque on it. You mean like a suit of armor? Yes.
And
I think we could arrange that.
If you can get me something that's sturdy and can stand up on its own, I can probably control it.
Right. Okay. Brooklyn, I think that's a job for you and I to figure out.
Yeah. Give this guy a body.
Yes, give this guy a... He ain't got no body.
He's got no face.
Well, that's true, too.
He's got no style. He's got no face.
What did I just open?
This
Alright.
guy just got no face.
You opened the coconut.
Coconut with the lime in the... Anyways.
all right. So we're gonna you guys are I guess headed off the ship, or because you guys, one of you said, Astrom, I believe, said
Yeah.
you wanted to go shopping. So
Yep, yeah. He just wants to pick up like a nice warm coat, I guess.
all right. So you go up to the up into town, and you find the it's called what is it? Tuscan Outfitters.
Okay.
And
Oh my god.
and you go in, and there's a lot of pelts and like heavy leather, wool, kind of like things up front. It's kind of just haphazardly placed and on display. It's kind of like not a well-kept shop, but it's like kind of like you can see the shop owner is trying, but they're not very interested in their own job.
Okay.
They're just doing this to get by in life. So
Ostrom will go up to the shopkeeper and will say, I need a coat.
what kind of coat do you want? It's we have warm coats, cold coats, light coats, raincoats, all kinds of coats.
Which coat works best versus cold environments?
We have about, and he kind of like leans over, kind of looking behind you, and kind of like looks at the stock, and he says, "We have 3 heavy parkas that we offer. They're over there."
How much do they cost?
Well, depends on which one you want. They can range from 1 gold to 4 gold, depending on the quality, of course.
Okay. Osram's gonna look them over. He's probably gonna go for the middle quality coat.
All right. As you go over to the rack and you kind of pull one off, it's very heavy. It's like because it's like it's not a sheep's pelt, it's a ram's pelt.
Okay.
And it's like imagine wearing like if you were wearing like medium armor, it kind of sits on your shoulders and weighs you down a little bit on your shoulders as you put it on. And it's a long trench coat kind of thing, but it has fur lining inside.
Okay. So it'll be pretty effective.
Yeah. It
Yeah, I think
it will
it'll-
count as medium armor, medium leather armor, plated armor.
Which I'm not proficient in, so I'm probably going to take like I think you take penalties to a few things.
Yes,
for that.
yes, you will.
All right, he'll still do it.
Yep.
I'm interested in this coat.
He says, that will be... He looks at the price tag and it's kind of smudged. He says, 2 gold and 10 silver.
Are you sure it's 10 silver? I think that's a smudge.
Roll me a persuasion.
Can I do a deception check for that or?
Yeah, you can. Yep.
Okay.
Deception check. Because you're trying to you're trying to haggle, I get it.
Yeah.
By the way, with
Only rolled an 11.
11, okay. He looks at the number and he says, oh, I think that's actually a 5, if I'm mistaken. And he says, you know what, I'll charge you 2 gold and 5 silver for it.
That's
pay
acceptable.
more.
All
Or
right,
did he pay less?
less.
He paid less.
Well, it's less, but it's like a few silver less.
Yeah,
It takes 100 silver for 1 gold.
yeah. So, he rings you up and hands you the coat and says, anything else you're interested in? Maybe some climbing gear? Some, we have a good adventurer's kit over here. He gestures to, like, behind the wall.
What is the adventurer's kit good for?
It's good for anything adventurous. It's, has some rope, some, he pulls off like a, kind of like a grappling hook thing and says, I don't know what this is, some kind of hook thingy.
A piece of cake.
Hook thingy.
No, that's the Cake
Apparently
Grabber
not a
2000.
climber. Just
Yeah.
putting that out there.
This grappling hook's the Cake Grabber.
How much is the kit?
It is, he looks at the price tag. Again, it's smudged. I think it's a
Why are they smudged?
2 gold, if I'm correct. And it's and then he looks at it, squints at it, and he says, "Oh no, 8 gold."
Wait, no, 100 gold.
I could afford it if it were 2 gold.
He says, "Well, if you have 8 gold, I am willing to part with it, but seeming as you don't have 8 gold, at least to my knowledge."
Get out. Come back when you're a little more.
Who else is in who else is in here, by the way? Who else came in?
Not me. 'cause
The
I-
captain was in there buying stuff too.
The captain is currently like upstairs. You hear some rummaging around and then like kind of like nope, maybe. And you're still standing at the check-in desk, the
Okay. Yep.
cashier. As you hear your captain upstairs kind of rummaging around in the various goods and stuff.
Also, by the way, for Alexo having a body, I actually know what character sheet I'm going to use. It's a character sheet I haven't used in ever.
All right. So Gearbox, I have an idea for your Alexo.
Well, I have an idea too. All I need is a suit and
Alright.
armor.
All right. So what is Astrom doing as he's like kind of walking around looking in the looking at all this shop merchandise? There's 2 floors to this building, by the way.
I think he'll try to barter a bit more for the adventurer's kit.
All right.
He'll suggest like 4 gold for it, but
4 gold. All right. Roll me a persuasion.
okay.
and I'm gonna roll a dice for the threshold.
I rolled a dirty 20.
Nice.
All right. You you talk to him for a little bit, and he says, "So how much are your? How much do you? How low are you going? Like, what's your bid on it?"
I really can't afford more than 4 gold at this point.
4 gold. I was gonna charge you 5.
It's
This
only
looks
one.
like it's been sitting in the shop for a while.
But it is high quality, you see, and he gestures to like some of this like the equipment, and it does not look high quality at all. It looks like it's like second hand.
And a little thing falls off.
Idea. I don't know how well this is gonna work, but if you're brave enough, because I don't know how brave you are with this character, you could try and seduce the shopkeeper.
I don't think
It's you never know. It's just an idea you try. If you're brave enough, give it a
I
try.
don't think Astro needs the kid that badly.
I don't think you need that badly, bro.
And meanwhile, upstairs, you just hear like clattering of metal and stuff like that, and something falling over, clattering to the floor, and you just hear oopsies, damn it. And you start hearing like someone trying to pick up something heavy.
Whoa.
And the shopkeeper says, "Be careful up there, that is fine merchandise. Now, back to your order. 5 gold.
Or else.
I really feel like 4 gold is more reflects the value of this item.
Alright." He says, "Fine. 4 gold.
Pleasure doing business with you. I'll give him 4 more gold for that.
Alright." And he hands you the kit, so you can add a adventurer's kit to your inventory. Comes with a pickaxe, a ice pickaxe, some like of those, like snow boots, like snowshoe boots.
Okay.
Spiked boots that let you climb on ice.
Yeah, and snowshoes. So like the little think of it like the old style like nets that like basically you're wearing like tennis things on your feet.
Oh, those things, yeah.
Yeah, those. And a little bit of food, like basic rations and stuff like that with it, and some rope. Like 10 feet of rope. Alright, so the captain comes downstairs and says, "Good sir, how much for that fine suit of armor you have up here?" And the shopkeeper says, "Oh, that dusty thing?" He says, "I've been trying to part with it for years."
Is this the suit armor we're talking about, bro?
Yes.
Okay, I have to say what it is, because this is like a
All right.
specific suit of armor.
Yep.
Basic suit of armor is a large, bulky suit of armor with a shield and a large lance, and some javelins on its back. I am reusing a old character sheet.
All right, and the captain says, "Yes, that suit of armor up there."
Antique.
Oh, you mean that thing? Do you just want the suit, or do you want the whole shebang? Well, how much is the whole setup? Captain says, and Astrom, you're looking at the captain like, why does he need a suit of armor?
Yeah.
And he,
Medieval
The
looking
thing where he like kind of fades into the background so that he's not noticed while he's observing.
yeah, and they're like upstairs looking at it, and like he's picking up pieces, and he says, maybe, and this is the shopkeeper, he says, "Well, I've had it for about 6 years," and he dusts off like he kind of like rubs off a little smudge on the metal like arm piece, and he says, "It would be about maybe 45 gold." 45 gold? That's outrageous, says the captain.
I want to point out that the shopkeeper's gone upstairs. It's a good time to ask around wanted to. He could steal something off the shelf and run with it.
Fun.
He is considering it.
All right.
Well,
So
you have ample opportunity because anything in that store you could swipe it right now and run, and the guy would not know.
all right. So the shopkeeper is like bartering with the. I'm gonna roll a persuasion to see if I can get a lower price. How about 30 gold? And I have to roll for the shopkeep. How about 35? 35 seems about my price. And the captain hands over 35 gold. Remember, the captain has a lot of money, so...
He has an ass.
Well, now he's not going to have very much, so...
Yeah.
Right.
This is
You have more gold on the ship, though.
Yes, we do. All
So
right.
what kind of armor is he buying again?
If you like to describe
Lancer's
it...
armor. It's Lancer's armor.
Okay.
Anyways. The best way to say it is this armor is based off the character that this character sheet is, mainly because it needs to.
Yeah.
For it to-
Alright, so Captain rings up his order and is carrying this large sack of like parts and metal and stuff like that around over his shoulder. And he's coming downstairs and he says, "Did you find anything else interesting, Astalum?" As you're reaching at like one of these objects. And I'll let you decide what object it would be. Because, you know.
I don't suppose there'd be like a healing potion here. I don't know. That might not be the kind of stock that he has.
It's a potion brewer's kit. Like a alchemical, like, set. Very fine, high quality alchemical set.
Okay. Is there a chance of grabbing it before I'm noticed, or no?
Well,
You
the
can-
shopkeeper is still upstairs.
Yeah, Astram is the only one who's walking down. The shopkeeper's about to come down behind him, so
Okay, I'm gonna try to take it before he notices.
roll a sleight of hand.
Yep. Sleight of hand.
Let's see here.
This one.
And I'm pretty sure Asarama is good at sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand.
Pretty decent at it.
Alright. Tell me what you get.
Ugh, he only rolled a 7.
Ouch!
You reach for it, and you kind of like grab one part of it as you're reaching for it. And the shopkeep comes around and says, "Oh, I see you are interested in our newest item, our brewer's kit. A lot of people have interest in that one. That is 45 gold. And
looks
it's
high
very
quality.
it's very high quality, but you can obviously tell for what you're looking at, he's marked it up a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like there's probably like you can see a crack in one of like the bottles.
That said,
Yeah.
there's no way he's gonna give Asaram the kind of discount he needs to be able to afford that now. So
You
Yeah.
can just ask what you can just act like you didn't notice the price.
yeah, no, he's gonna just put it back on the shelf,
Yeah.
and we'll say, I may have to consider that as for a future purchase.
Very well. And is there anything else I can assist you, gentlemen, with? The captain says, "No, I think I have exhausted my pouch," and he pats his coin bag.
I believe I have acquired everything I need. Thank you.
Well, if you ever need anything else, please come back as you head out. And the captain kind of like looks to Astrom and says, "Were you interested in that back there?" He kind of like gestures to like the shelf where you had the alchemical set.
Here's a question. So it sounds like it's technically an alchemical set.
Yeah.
I'm not. Actually, no. Never mind. I'm not proficient in that either.
Yeah.
He shrugs and he says, "It seemed valuable."
Everything's valuable around here, if you know what you're looking for. As he trots back to the ship.
Suit of armor in hand.
Over his shoulder, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You could just be dragging it on a wagon.
Yeah, he just kind of like calls for one of the... Actually, you know what he's going to do? He's going to call for one of like the local like wagon taxis. He just hails a carriage.
Yeah.
I do love the concept of trying to take it apart, but it's like really, it's like whatever it's been put together with. It's just
Yeah.
really like annoyingly together.
And the carriage comes up, and you just hear the carriage master say, "Hello, where to? To the docks, please. Short haul." And
I just love the idea of this limp suit of armor just being taken off its stand and just thrown into.
he just throws it into the back of like the like this long kind of like hay bale carriage thing.
Just
And
sit
then-
it down.
And then two horses just kind of whinny, and he says, "To the docks, I see. Are you on a voyage? I've seen a lot of ships in the town lately."
We are probably departing shortly, yes.
"Well, hop aboard. I'll take you there in very quickly."
Okay.
And the captain hops aboard next to like the on the seat next to the guy with the reins. And you can hop in the back, or you can sit next to the captain.
There's room next to the captain. I'll sit next to him.
All right. The gentleman whips the horses, and they head off to the.
Ooh. This one.
Meanwhile, what's happening in the water or on the ship?
Why are we gonna get a suit? I don't know.
My character is every so often looking over at the Megalodon, checking up on Bernera.
Bernera, at this point, since you're kind of sitting in the water, if you have any damage to your character, I'll let you take a short rest.
She doesn't have any damage to her. She's just exhausted.
Okay. I just was trying to gauge, like, if you took any damage from the last encounter or not.
No,
So that's okay.
no, she didn't take any damage.
All right. So you're just tired, and she's just kind of, but you're like awake, kind of like just kind of like on your back, kind of like doing like a back float kind of thing. And you're just looking up at the sun, glaring down and beating on you. As you hear these two individuals up on the deck just kind of arguing about something about a suit of armor. All right.
Why are you two arguing over a suit of armor?
Huh?
Or
Who are you talking to?
Is Brittlin talking to the ghost?
Yeah, Alexo.
Lexo. She's looking at Brittlin and Lexo, and why are you two arguing over a suit of armor?
Well, if I have a suit of armor, I can walk around and not be in the ship.
And Brittlin, do you take exception to this?
Well, getting a suit would be hard, because how could we have a suit? It's not like someone has just bought a suit and it's coming over right now.
As like almost on cue, you hear a horse like trotting up to the side of the docks, like on the cobbles. The captain just waves and says, "Hello up there." And
Do you need some help with that? She knows it's a suit of armor sitting.
well, not it's covered with like a drape over it, and like you don't know what it is. It's just like covered with a sack over it.
Do you need any help, Captain?
With that big thing.
I do need a help bringing my purchase up.
I will
What
be
did you
down in a
bet?
minute.
God, it's huge.
And she will go down.
All right.
Yeah, my character follows. Alexa's like, fine, I'll stay over here. Not like I have anywhere to go.
And the captain says, "Oh, I have something special for everyone." And he's gonna open up the sack as he gets on the ship. Hold on, 1 moment. Be right back. Hold on. Right. All right. So he brings with the help of Magdi, he brings the large kind of like sack up to the deck, and he's gonna start unpacking it. He's gonna.
Alexa sees and says, "Speaking of the devil," someone said, just like looks to freaking Britlin's like, "Shut up."
And he hands the suit of armor to Alexo and says, "Merry Christmas."
Oh, this thing looks pretty nice and large too.
Where is your plaque? We You need to put the plaque on this so then you can
The plaque?
control it, right?
He goes over and grabs the plaque from like a high shelf.
Yep.
Ah. Okay.
I can't. I had to put it on a high shelf to keep him from getting it. Anyways,
Well, let's put the plaque onto the armor. Now, how
he's
do you
trying to figure out where. Like he's.
Where do you want this affixed?
You bolt it on the inside?
We can do that.
And the captain is going
Give me a
to.
second.
Okay. All right.
What?
Huh?
We're
What
waiting.
happened?
He's 1 moment. He's AFK or something.
Oh.
All right. So while this is happening, the captain's gonna reach into the bag and pull out a. Remind me what everyone's proficient in.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm back.
Okay.
My character.
ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay.
No. Yep.
Who is doing what?
The captain is giving out gifts.
Yes, I know. Magdi is attempting to help Alexo.
Well, Alexa can do a thing now. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I don't know her to-
What does Alexa want Magdi to do, if anything?
Alexa's is like, putting the plaque inside is probably a good idea. He says, well, for Mitch, like putting the plaque in himself.
Okay, you're doing it. All right.
He opens up the visor and just reaches in. Yeah. Got it.
All right. So now you can take control of the suit of armor.
Give me a second, he says. Well, he just goes into the suit armor, and eventually, after a second, it starts moving.
And the
Now,
ship.
this is what I'm talking about.
The ship just kind of settles a little bit deeper into the water.
Oh, yeah. Don't worry. Don't worry. Unless we're going somewhere, I'm gonna usually take control of the ship. But I just want to see how this works first, he says while moving it around. Ooh, whoever wore this armor was a strong one, too. He says while
Make
stretching.
sure you learn how to walk around. I don't want you falling on your face.
He takes a step. I will fall up! I'm
See,
fine.
what did I tell you?
Look, he didn't fall over, but he stomped on the ground a little because he didn't expect gravity. Okay, gravity works.
The gravity of your situation has improved.
This thing's a bit heavy.
Thank you.
All right.
I love that.
I'm not sure if I described how tall this guy's armor was, but yeah, it's a good, like, 6'2" or something.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
Whoever wore this armor was big. Wait. He kind of
All
looked at
right.
his hand.
And the captain pulls out a long, slender, kind of metallic object from the bag and hands it to Magdi, and says,
Well,
"I managed to retrieve this from your former employer,
What is it?
and it's a short sword, but it's
Oh, okay.
your fallen comrade's short sword, and it's
Like an
engraved. It's engraved
ad?
with like his initials and stuff like that, and it's nice. It's gilded. It's silver, a little tarnished, but you know, a little buffing up could make it look good.
Okay. So it's a short sword?
Yes. And then
I'm adding the short sword to my
inventory. Yep. And for
Where
Dr.
did you find this?
Oh, I see the height of this character. This character's height is 6'3". Oh my god.
All right, so the captain says, "I put in a little favor and pulled some strings back at your old employer's place and managed to have it delivered. Took it about 3 weeks. Coughs.
Oh, I thank you. I thought this thing was lost. Thank you.
He pulls out.
She takes the short sword and just kind of looks at it, and she turns around. She's gonna go below deck.
Yep. And then the captain's gonna pull out for Dr. Vess remind me what you're good at.
Vess?
I mean, not Dr. Vess, sorry. The Estram. What are you good at exactly? I'm trying to remember what your character type was.
He's a rogue.
All right, so he hands you a small, what looks like a box, but it's a very ornate-looking cube.
Oh.
And it has a bunch of keyholes in it, and like various parts that can move around. He says, I know it's not much, but it might help you with your craft. Ever heard of a puzzle box?
Ah, interesting. I have never encountered one before, but I will certainly give this one a try.
They're certainly challenging.
I got it at the local craft shop. It's some kind of child's toy, but it I think it will be useful for your skill set.
Thank you, Captain.
You're welcome. And he reaches into the bag and pulls out a item for it's kind of like a large, like 2 large sacks that he pulls out of the bag, and they're very heavy, and you can smell I'm trying to remember your name, Britlin. You can smell the a particular scent coming off of them.
Whoa.
Would you like to roll perception or insight?
My perception is a -1. What is my insight? My insight is +3.
Roll insight
Anything
then.
to do with wisdom is good.
Yep. Roll insight then.
Quickly, roll 22. I got it.
You obviously, the scent just like attacks your nose, and just like you start like, you obviously know what this is. This is the finest
Finest what?
finest sacks of tea in this side of the ocean.
No, you didn't. He says, with like the point is like, no, you didn't.
And he says, just don't drink it all in one sitting. It's the finest tea in the land, and it didn't come very cheap.
Yeah, of course. This stuff is very expensive.
I will tell you this much. It's about like Hi, Dad. Okay. It's
Gold.
no, it's about 50 gold a bag.
Damn.
Mhm.
Like this stuff, so expensive. I remember when I used to be a captain of my own ship. This stuff I would die for.
And then he reaches into the bag one more time and pulls out a leather-bound book with an eyeball on it. And he says, I need Bernira to come up here.
Rhaenyra, Britlin says, while leaning over.
What?
There's a thing for you, like a gift. Come up here.
Alright,
Hold on, pause. Yeah?
Pause!
Alright. And, you come up topside?
She's gonna do it in a very fancy way.
Okay.
She's gonna pat the megalodon on the head, and as it tilts downward, she's gonna walk up its body onto its tail.
Mm-hmm.
This
And
thing's almost as big as a freaking whale, so...
yeah, I get it. So the tail just kind of like, as you step over the railing and onto the deck, the captain's holding this odd-looking tome out to you.
What's this?
Merry Christmas, Bernira.
I feel like I should give you something in return.
No need, but if you want, you can.
She reaches down into at the very bottom of her dress, like, you know, she grabs a crab and pulls it out and gives it to it.
How
Oh.
possible, a crab?
He says, oh, thank you. As the crab is like biting, like the pincers are still clicking. As he's holding the crab and he's like trying not to get pinched. He says, a very thoughtful gift. And he
Kind of like turns her head starts like drifting side to side. She's so tired.
and He says, well, now that we have all the tools we need, maybe we should get headed out. And he says, help me raise the anchor. We set sail tonight.
Alexo's like, I have a suit of armor. He's also like, there's a lot of things with this thing.
Yeah, and he says, oh, also, Alexo, since you now have your suit of armor, consider yourself part of the crew. Welcome aboard.
He also goes, there's a lot of things I don't think you notice with this suit either, he says while looking at his hands.
He says, what's unique about it? It's just a suit of armor.
In both hands and in the head, there's crystals. The ones in the hands, he says, is, let me do this. He casts a little bit of magic.
No wonder that was so expensive.
And in the head, he says, while opening up the visor thing a little bit, he buffs out, a little bit of cold wind unleashes from his face.
Huh.
And he puts it.
Interesting.
And there's an elemental ice crystal inside the head.
Interesting. Very interesting.
And
like this
Rhaenyra is going to Rhaenyra's going to look at Alexo. Like she's kind of like got one eye open and one like half open. You know what this means, Alexo.
And that is.
This means you have a physical form now.
Well, I can.
If I choose to slap you, I can.
Oh yeah. Well, this thing's pretty sturdy. He says, with hitting the chest of it, and you hear a lot, like you hear it like clank together.
So,
I wonder how expensive this was.
Don't ask. You don't want to know. And, he, like, over at the anchor, like, trying to raise it. Well...
It's just my character just walks over, like, you need help.
Yes.
I can feel strength through this thing.
Yep. So roll me a strength check.
He's gonna fail, isn't he? He rolled a 10. He's like, okay, not used to it.
Don't worry. It will come up soon. And he's like, he's almost done, but he's doing it all by himself. And it's like, takes him like a good solid, like 2 minutes for him to like bring up the anchor.
I'm not sure if I should say what this character sheet entails, but God, this thing is good sometimes.
All right.
Everything else is like +1s, but...
So the ship starts kind of like drifting out slowly and out to sea. And the captain says, Alexa, why don't you drive this time? And he hands you the map. And when you see the map, I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw.
This guy actually has a con +1 at least.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, roll 3. He's like, okay, I may have to be actually controlling the ship to handle this.
Yep. And he says, no matter. And he says, well, it's gonna be about maybe 2 days journey.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna be going into the forbidden zone of the ocean.
Oh, great. He says, well, he sits the suit armor against the wall, and the plaque just kind of sets back onto the wall.
Yep.
Like, okay, I'm back into control of the ship, he says, while the ship probably lifts a little higher.
Yep. And you guys are on your way.
We're on our way.
And the waves are kind of just lapping up against the side of the ship, and, you know, it's a calm journey for about a couple hours, and, now is the time if you guys want to relax, kind of mingle, character development. Now is the time.
The Megalodon is like slowly following behind the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With Rhaenyra quietly sleeping.
No, she's up on the deck now. She's more awake than she was.
Okay. Magdi is down down the deck, looking at this short sword quietly.
Mm-hmm.
Rhaenyra is going to open the book. What does she find inside?
She finds a bunch of blank pages and a slot in the side of like the thing with a quill and a little bit of inkwell. And basically, it's an empty tome, at least to your knowledge. Would you like to roll Arcana on it?
Yes, I would, actually. Let me set up.
Do it yourself.
Hmm?
DIY tome.
That's a 23.
As you're holding this tome and you're looking at it and you reach for the quill, writing appears on the first page and it says, "Hello, Master."
I see.
It talks.
Well, it doesn't talk, but it writes to you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and it says, "What spell would you like to learn today?"
That's a good question. So I'm assuming this is going to let me change one of my spells.
It's going to let you change up to 3 per session.
Cool.
Only,
So
and they can go up to your level, your spell slot level.
Okay, well, I'm currently only at level 3. So.
Correct. Yeah.
Alright, let's see. I'm going to go to edit character.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go to spells.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to change. Let's see. How do I? Here we go. Remove spell.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to change Burning Hands for. Hold on, what? Known spells 1 of 4? What?
You can know up to 4 spells.
It wasn't like that before. It must have changed.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's leveled.
Yep.
I don't remember how many spells you start with.
Mm-hmm. Also, you have cantrips available on this tome, so. And while you're figuring that out, we're gonna go back to Magdi. As you're looking at this sword and kind of polishing it, you notice that there's a kind of like on the hilt. There's a gemstone that you don't remember actually being there on the original one, at least to your knowledge. Roll me an insight check.
Insight?
Yes.
Give me just a
Mm-hmm.
second.
Mm-hmm.
Just an insight, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That is a 14.
14. Okay, so this gemstone is kind of, as you take a closer look at it, you can see kind of like a wispy kind of like murkiness to it, and it's like not alive, but like it's giving off this kind of sense that like something about it is unique. It's special.
She's going to touch said stone.
As you touch it, your mind is thrown into this kind of like, imagine like your body is out of body experience. You are thrown into like this murky depth of the water, and you're now kind of like flailing around underwater, like in a dream, and but you can breathe surprisingly underwater and stuff like that, and at least in this like subconscious, you don't know where you are, and a mermaid swims up to you and says, "Hello, Magdi. It's been a while." My name is Fiona. I am your guardian.
Fiona?
Yes.
Spell that for me, please.
Fiona.
Guardian of what?
I am your
Where am I?
protector. You are inside the crystal, in the sword that you are wielding. I am the spirit of this weapon you are holding. I will protect you and guide you along your journey. My powers are great and vast, but well wielded by the correct and most wisest of people such as yourself. I believe we can work together.
Okay.
Is there anything you'd like to learn about me before you go?
I have questions. Lots of them.
I may answer one of your chosen questions.
The problem is I don't know what any of my questions. Me, the player, doesn't know.
Okay. She says, I understand this is new to you, but don't worry. If you ever need me, just touch the stone. And she says, now, go. Your adventure awaits. And she just kind of like swims away and fades into like the blue. And then you snap out of it as you surface on the water, and as you surface, you snap back to it. Like, you're awake, and you're just holding this sword in your hand, just kind of awkwardly looking at the stone.
Okay, this is the weirdest thing that I've ever had. I guess I get to switch out my long sword with a short sword. Oh.
It's a short sword, and it's a tier 1 enchanted.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah. It's just a +1 sword.
It's a +1.
Well, like, it's, you'll have to figure out what the, I'll talk to you later about what the sword does, but, you know.
Okay, hang on.
Yep.
I'm gonna take off the long sword,
Yep.
put in the short sword, and you'll tell me what's on it so that I can
Yep.
make the appropriate change.
Yeah. It's a short sword of,
Well, you initially
Yeah.
said it's a +1.
yeah, +1. And then I'll tell you what it is after, like, you know, our game today. Because it's special. It's very special. And, we are going to go to, Britlin. You're just, like, hauling your bags of tea into your cabin. And what are you doing with them?
Eeny, mimey, mo.
Catch a tiger by its toe.
Just tries
You're
out
not-
one of them, and she's like, "Yep, exactly as good as the last time I had it. That was like 12 years."
As you're brewing the coffee, not the coffee, the tea, like, on, like, a little, like, on the stove in the, like, the mess hall.
The cat's also staring at it, like, yes. Yeah, it's cut tea.
And the captain is in his quarters talking to Alesso about his armor and, you know, like,
So,
Alexo, yeah. Alexo's there and, like, they're just looking over the charts and stuff like that. I'll let you drive your character, but, like, you know, he's, like, pointing to the map and he says, it's heavily fortified, so what do you suggest we do to get around the fortifications?
and he looks at it really closely.
All right.
Well, technically, if it has cannons, I can make the ship turn into a submarine of some type.
You can do that? He looks at
Yes!
Alexo.
If I have control over it, I can make it do anything. If I can
Interesting.
bend the boards like this, he says, well, a board bends next to him and he just puts it back. I can probably turn it into some sort of submarine vehicle, but not for very long as, well, air is kind of a problem for you.
You do have a valid point. We'll put that idea off to the side in case we need it. He says, and he points to the map and he says, but there's a lot of rocks and sunken ships around that tried to get into the shoreline here, and he taps on the map. How are we going to be able to get in? We have to get close enough to order to drop anchor. Because this place is, as you can see, and he gestures these little, like, fin-like creatures, and he says, is shark-infested.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we have Rhaenyra, but I don't want her to have to face off a bunch of sharks on her own.
Well, if they get too close, I can probably make the bottom of the ship dangerous to them.
That's true. And also, about this winter storm, we will have to go in with the sails up.
Last thing we want is to get the ship dragged around.
Outside it's night, it's getting kind of dark and kind of, you know, the ship's just slowly drifting on the water, up and down. And he says, well, it's getting late, and, I think I'm gonna hit the rack. And he just kind of walks over to his bed and flops face first into the hammock. What is everyone else doing on the ship? The captain's out.
What time of day is it?
It is kind of like 8:30, so like the sun is just set.
Okay. Magdi will appear on the walk up on the deck.
Mm-hmm.
Nostrum will be on deck too.
Still carrying the short sword,
Mm-hmm.
looking at this too.
All right, and Astram, you're up there too.
Yep.
All right.
Just kind of keeping watch, basically.
All right, so you're like at the bow of the ship. Where are you particularly on the ship? Because there's the bow, the crow's nest, and then there's like, you know, just the main deck or the wheel.
I'll say he's just coming down from the crow's nest when Magdi comes on deck.
All right, Magdi is carrying this sword that was given to her by the captain, and she's staring at this gemstone that's affixed to the hilt of the sword.
That looks valuable.
Oh, I'm sorry, Astral. I don't think you should be taking that gem.
I wasn't necessarily going to do that.
The thing in the gem says it's my protector.
Oh, well then I definitely won't be doing that.
So, well, you were taking a turn up on the crow's nest.
Yes, but it's really too dark to see at this point.
Yeah. I'm just up here to get some fresh air. I'm so confused at this point.
A gust of breeze just kind of billows the sails as the ship kind of rocks a little bit. That's it.
So there's a spirit of some sort in your sword.
At the mention of spirit, Rhaenyra is going to perk up and look at you.
While Bernera spawned. Da-da-da.
A spirit.
Well,
Do tell.
it was a mermaid,
Oh.
and she said that she was my protector.
Bring it here, Magdi. Let me have a look.
Don't hurt the mermaid.
I'm not going to hurt the mermaid. I simply want to look at the gemstone.
And she will very carefully hand the sword over to me. Rhaenyra.
Yep.
Yes,
we're
I
gonna-
hand it to myself.
My.
Here you go, me. Thank you, me.
My. You certainly are a lucky woman, Magdi.
Okay.
I'm going to assume you don't know what this is, do you?
I know it was the sword from my previous the head of my It's the player that's kind of going. Bleh.
Oh, okay. It was the your superior general.
Yeah, my superior's weapon.
He
The
failed.
blade doesn't matter, it's the gemstone that matters.
Trying to gather
Do you
that.
know what this is?
No.
My dear Magda, you have a very rare gem on your hands.
I have a very rare sword on my hands. What are you talking about?
The gemstone's even more rare than the blade. It's called a sunstone opal. Sunstone opals are worth pounds upon pounds upon pounds of gold. They are only made inside volcanoes.
We're heading towards one.
And you can see the gem as Bernier is holding it, is pulsing a little bit redder. But not like intimidating pulsing. It's just kind of like slow, like a very slow pulsing heartbeat.
So do you know the entity that's inside?
If my memory serves me correctly, in the years I've been a sea witch, anytime a spirit of the ocean deems themselves to guard someone, they will defend that individual with their life essence until it burns away.
And this one said that was my guardian.
Take good care of her, and she will care for you.
She wanted me to ask questions. I have so many, I don't know where to start.
Well, why don't you start with the most obvious question?
Why me?
Exactly. Why you? As a matter of fact, how about I go in and help you out? Just to make things more clear.
Don't scare it or her.
I'm sure she's not going to be terrified of me.
That's true. And my character will again put a hand on top of the
Stone.
Bernier is going to touch the underside of the stone.
There's a flash of light.
I thought it was set into the
It's poking out both sides.
Yeah, it's kind of like a little ring that it holds into, that holds it in place.
So I have the top. And, okay.
She has the bottom. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So as you touch it, you have that like almost drowning sensation again, but then it calms, and Bernier is kind of floating next to you. But Bernier, your appearance is different.
Of course it is.
Instead of your jellyfish dress and your body and stuff like that, you look like a half human, half seahorse creature.
What?
Oh.
And you are very elaborately shiny, like it's almost off-putting to Magdi to see this for the first time, but this is your true form, your pure form. Before you were corrupted by whatever caused you to turn to the depths of the ocean.
Not another corrupted character.
Oh no, not again.
But this particular corruption is not like violent,
No, it's not malevolent or anything like that. It's just
I understand that, but it's sort of like, oh lord, not again.
Oh, Fiddlefix, what now?
Yeah, very much so.
Yep. But you're swimming there next to this majestic seahorse woman with pearl kind of hair, like white hair. And she's holding a kind of like a trident in her left hand, and it's very ornate and very beautiful looking. And that's Bernira. As you kind of settle down onto the surface of this like underwater, whatever this place is, and you see a kind of like a mountain, kind of like stone up there in front of you. And Brunier, what do? You know where this is.
Yes.
Wait, where is this place again?
I'm gonna direct message you. Hold on. Where are you? There you are.
I can't tell if that was a kid in the background or if that was a cat meowing.
Probably my cat. He wants some food, but I'm trying to hold off for a little bit more before I feed him.
Are you trying to control his weight or something?
Yeah, it's part of that, but I also, admittedly, I ordered some food to be delivered. So I figured I'd wait until that gets here, and then if I have to jump away from the keyboard, I can just do one quick go.
Oh.
Ah, okay. Then
Oh. The Temple of Tiberon.
where?
Look on yonder. See that strange formation there?
Yes.
That's the Temple of Tiberon. I'm a little shocked we're actually going there. That place was once forbidden.
As you can see, as you swim closer, you can see sunken ships and stuff like that. And one of the swimming up next to you, Magdi, is the mermaid, and she says, "Back so soon. And who did you bring with you?" "Oh, hello, mistress." And she bows.
This is my friend Vernira.
"I know her very well. Welcome
But I
back to
cannot
the...
remember your face, unfortunately.
It's been a long time. In due time, you will remember."
Okay, now I'm even more confused than ever.
Let's see if I can't clear the waters a little bit.
Oh, that's funny that we're in waters. She actually says that.
Hold on, be right back.
Okay.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Oh. We're talking amongst ourselves. I don't know what to say.
Frickin' the sheet I'm using for Alexa's body is one of my first character sheet I've ever made on D&D Beyond.
Cool.
I'm back.
Pepperoni and cheese.
Cool.
Jeez, Gromit.
Alright, so,
Bernero waves the trident around and starts clearing the water, so it's more
Right.
like a crisp view of everything around us.
and you can see that the temple is actually submerged underneath the island. And you're walking you're swimming towards like a gated entrance that's an underwater sewer kind of thing.
This is the island that we're supposed to be going to.
Exactly, says the mermaid, and she says, I can follow you, but I don't know where I'm going. You are the ones leading the way."
I do have a start to my questions. Why me?
"I believe you and I were chosen for something special." And she gestures to the creature next to you, Bernira, and she says, "This one seems to have the answers, but she can't, as you foresay, cannot remember, but in due time you will." Mag, check your messages.
I see him.
I'll be right back, by the way. Just like a minute.
And this creature says, "I believe you have a destiny to fulfill. As I mentioned before, I'm here to guide you on that destiny, with the help of your friend here, who has set me on the path to aid you in this quest." And I'll be right back. Sorry, the phone is ringing off the hook.
Literally.
Well,
Alright, I'll be switching to, I'll be right back. Be right back.
Na, 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 na.
Oh,
Refresh,
right.
refresh it or be whooped.
Lol. Alright. Welcome back to our seafaring adventures, ladies and gentlemen. We are, I believe we all kind of were settling in for the night, on the first night of our voyage, and, what was it? Alexo and the, no, sorry, Magdi and the, Brunira were having an encounter with a
Mermaid.
mermaid named Fiona.
And no, Alexo is doing something right now.
Yes. And, we returned to the scene with, Fiona and the mermaid, because you were about to ask your question, and then we got interrupted.
I thought I'd asked my question.
Oh, you
Well,
did, yes. Yeah.
It was
But
the
as you're...
whole Destiny thing.
What?
The whole Destiny thing.
Yeah, the whole
Yeah.
thing.
So as you approach these, like, iron bars on this, kind of sewer entrance underwater, you, the, mermaid stops and says, "I cannot go any further than this. Your journey must guide you on your own path. Good luck." And she kind of, like, shimmers away. And you...
Well, now we know there is a way in.
We keep going.
Perhaps we should tell the others.
And you, as you look up, like, to the watery surface above, that's when you come out of it. And you're standing on the deck of the ship.
Ostrom is still there, kind of like he was standing watch over their bodies, basically.
Yeah, and you're just standing there.
1,000 yards, get 1,000 yards stare as we're.
Yep. And Astrom, when you came on board, you saw them staring at this, and you were just like, "What's wrong with them?" And now they've snapped out of it, and you're... What do you want to say?
Oh, nothing. He's just there, like, looking at them.
Okay.
Slightly creepy.
Slightly creepy.
Cordero, what was that? Just.
I believe that was a vision of things to come.
Things to come.
And I'm
And-
not sure why. I'm not sure why, but she felt familiar. I can't remember anything. It's been too long, and I am too old for this nonsense.
You're not too old. Don't anybody tell you you're too old.
Magda, do you know how old I am?
Leilana voice. This became Leilana.
No, it's not. Lana's is more sharp.
Yeah, I know. But it's starting to remind me.
It doesn't matter how old you are. You're never as old as you are or as you think.
Well, I'm gonna go take a nap.
I think I'm going to follow you. No, hopefully not inside space, but you know what I'm saying.
Yes,
It's...
so you want to sleep in the back of a megalodon.
As you guys are... kind of like walking to your berths, your respective locations, the wind picks up and starts not howling, but getting colder. A lot colder.
Actually,
And
well,
you can
people are trying to go
see-
to... Yeah.
And you see small snowflakes falling on the deck.
But, like, as everyone's trying to go to sleep, all of a sudden you hear Alexo talking. Kind of loud.
What is he saying?
Well, wow, you... What? Oh. How did... I thought I was the only one controlling this. That's annoying. What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm not a demon. That's rude. That's just people here, kind of muffled in one of the rooms.
And the captain is still asleep. He kind of just rolls over.
Can Rhaenyra hear what Alexo is talking about?
Rhaenyra?
Yeah.
Everyone can pretty much hear it. It's pretty audible. He's kind of shouting.
Oh.
Who is he talking? Or what room is he in?
He's like he's wherever he put the suit of armor.
So that'd be on the top deck, I believe. Or, no, in the, next
Storage, probably.
storage deck, which is kind of like behind the captain's quarters.
Yeah.
I wonder what he's arguing about.
Oh, shut up! What do you mean I'm taking over your body? That doesn't make sense! No, no, I don't know who you are. How am I supposed to know?
I better go investigate this.
It's not like
Madame, you're free to come along.
Thank you, but I think I'd rather let you two argue this out.
Very
Unless you know-
well. I'll go find out.
I'll be there shortly. I just gotta go get my coat.
My beautiful coat.
As you head down into the decks, lower decks, you see one of the and this is the only skeleton you're gonna see in this session. It's one of your ally skeletons, remember?
Alright.
And they're just kind of sitting there like on the
Playing cards.
playing cards at the mess hall table, and they're just like, got any fours?
Go fish. We're playing poker!
Yeah. And they're like sliding coins back and forth.
Are you sure you don't have any fours?
Yes. And it's just going. It's like, and then they just like take a bunch of gold across the table.
Don't mind.
It's like poker crossed with Go Fish.
Yeah.
So, Rhaenyra is gonna make her way toward where Alexo is.
Mm-hmm.
When you eventually get in there, you see Alexo floating. Well, not floating. He's actually sitting on a crate, looking at the suit with an agitated look on his mouth face. He doesn't really have a face. He just has a mouth that's visible. So you just see a really disgruntled, like aggravated look on his face, of what you can see.
Alright, what's going on in here?
Apparently, this suit is a little, well, annoying. You're annoying. You're trying to take over my body. What? You're a suit of armor. No, I am not a suit of armor. I'm a person. But can you move? The suit wiggles a little bit. Not really. I'm paralyzed. There's nothing in there.
Alexo, calm yourself down. Remember, you're not the only spirit that wanders the planes of existence.
I am no spirit.
You're going to be when I'm through with you. Calm yourself down.
What kind of sorcery is this? I cannot move.
Because you're not there. You're not a living, breathing being. You're a spirit trapped in that armor.
Ah, I'm tired of these lies. There's no way.
Let me demonstrate. She's gonna snatch the helmet off the armor and toss it away.
Why?
Can Asteran be there just to catch it, like just as he walks in?
Sure. Roll me a dexterity
To
check.
see if it actually hits you in the head.
Yep. Dexterity check from Astrum. 14. Okay. You manage to catch it, but it kind of slips out of your hands and falls to the floor a little bit.
Ah.
It just kind of
you
rolls.
see my point?
That's impossible. I
If
don't
that
remember.
had been an actual head, you'd be dead right now.
Can I have my head back?
No.
Osteron will pick the helmet up.
Asteram, hold on to that for a moment. Don't give it back to him.
Very well.
I want you to understand your situation. You're lucky. You're very lucky that Alexo here took over your armor. Otherwise, you would never be able to move at all. So I think a thank you is in order. You two should work together, not fight. Because if you start fighting, I'm going to make you both regret it.
Fine, fine. Damn the witch.
Good. Asteram, you can return the helmet now. Any more of this nonsense, and both of you are getting drowned.
He'll walk forward and he'll plunk it back into place.
My head has been returned.
Now, you can resolve yourselves to work together. Because if you don't, I'm going to, what's the phrase? Keelhaul both of you.
Oh. Well, I don't even know who this guy is, really. He hasn't said his
It
name.
doesn't matter. Work together, or both of you get punished.
Ah,
There is no in between.
I don't know. I don't want to work with this guy. He's.
You wanted a suit of armor to walk around in. You got one. You don't get to complain about the condition of the armor.
Yeah.
And as for you, Mr. Whoever you are in the suit of armor, you're in no predicament to argue that you own the armor and someone else is invading it, taking over it. You have already said you cannot move. You're given the chance to move, regardless of who's in control of your armor. You can move when Alexo uses it. Be happy for that, at least.
Fine.
Good. Now shut up, both of you. I'm going back to bed.
Oh dear.
As you storm out, and you just see the two skeletons standing there, just like, got any queens? And one of them just hands like a card over, and then the other one just throws down his card and says, "Ha, I win," and just drags all the coins towards it.
No, you don't win. I win. Throws down a whole bunch of cards.
Rhaenyra's gonna put her finger on the one in the middle.
Now they're all the two skeletons are bickering over like who's winning the game.
She's gonna put her finger on the skull of one skeleton and look at the other two and go, "This one was cheating. He has a card in his ribs."
Oh God!
And the guy with the card is. How did you see that?
He has a fake ace stuck in his ribs.
Yeah, like it's all markered. It's almost like.
How do the other two react to this one?
They just look at him and then they just like rip off his arms.
Like, no more arms for you. You lost arm to this. No! No, curse you, He-Man! No!
And they're giving that.
Cats fighting each other.
We're gonna sword fight with your arms now. No!
At least they're boning each other and not somebody else.
Sorry. I had to.
No! He-Man, no!
and then the skeleton who has his arms ripped off says, "I'll have a bone to pick with you two later."
I'll have a bone! I just imagined like at least one of them like Skeletor.
You'll never catch me. Well,
You'll never catch me alive, He-Man! I'm out of here!
Little monkey left at the end.
sorry.
All right.
Oh God, what have we done to ourselves?
We have
And-
been degraded to nothing.
As you look outside the little slits in the hull for like the windows, you can see it's snowing outside. It's cold, very cold. the top deck is covered in like a very maybe like an inch of snow in the morning when you guys wake up. Everyone take a long rest if you need one.
Long rest.
Do not-
Yay. Well, Rhaenyra needs a long rest.
Yes.
I can understand that, but
2
Narr-
months later.
a narrative long rest.
2 months later, Brenner wakes up. What is
Why
it?
is everyone dead?
How did I
God. Why? Why would you do that to me?
run, hero? The moon went.
How do I alone like pieces of the ship floating in the water?
I know.
Oh, that'd be bad. That'd be terrible.
Brenner wakes up and she's on the freaking moon. How'd she get here?
She wouldn't wake up at all. She'd be dead.
Yeah.
How
All
did
right.
I get here?
All right. So you guys wake up and it's like snowing all around you, and the ship is approaching a what looks like a tiny little like iceberg up ahead.
Oh no, we're not reenacting this shit.
No,
Are you sure?
well, no, we're not. I'll
How
be
small
clear.
is it?
It's small. It's like teeny. It's not even like intimidating looking. It's just like small ice sheets floating on the water. And it just has a little mountain on
Secretly
it.
an ice golem.
True.
Shush you.
What?
Don't you predict my plans.
I can predict anything I want to.
Yeah, I know. I'm just teasing. All right, so Captain comes up on deck and is already made come down actually and has starting to cook like eggs and crab. And yes, he took the crab that Bernier gave him and he's cooking it.
no.
That's sad.
Hey, he didn't know what to do with it.
No, Jimmy.
And so you guys are sitting down to breakfast and he says, "We're about a day out and we already are at the polar caps. It's going to be rough getting through them. We're going to need an expert navigator."
I'll be right back.
And he looks at Magdi. "Did you sleep well?"
I think so.
My character's just taking a sip of, just a long sip of tea, just.
I really think so.
Delicious cold coffee.
And he looks at Bernier's not here right now, but she's somewhere else on the ship, obviously because they stepped away. But Astram, you're looking kind of you haven't touched your food. Something wrong. You're kind of just like picking at your food right now.
I'm not
Yes.
feeling very hungry.
I understand the adventure that we have set ourselves on is extremely dangerous. And then you hear a creaking on the ship as the ship bumps up against something on the hull, and you just hear kind of like a low groan. Alexo, if you're here.
Alexa's here.
Alexo, you feel something rubbing up against your hull, and you can't move further on the ocean.
Something's on my hull, he says while he pops his head like through the ceiling.
We may have encountered some of the rocks around the island. Is the hull intact?
It is. I'll say
is.
that much. And the captain just kind of looks at the porthole and he says, "Oh, that's why.
What is it?
Your ship is surrounded in an ice sheet.
Oh,
Like you were fine sailing in, and then all of a sudden your ship is just stuck in the ice."
is it like surrounded by ice?
Yes.
Well, we are docked after a fact.
He heads top.
Break the ice.
He heads topside and says, "Do you see anything, Alexo?" It's just like, it's windy, it's snowing, it's kind of like blizzardy out. And it's dark. It's not dark, but like it's, like it's very hazy. Kind of like snow hazy, like fog. So, anyone wants to roll perception? Can do so. Mind you, you'll be rolling at -1 up to your base roll. Yep.
Question: how thick is the ice?
You can hop off the ship and check.
With the -1, I only rolled an 11.
Alright, you can see something off in the distance, but you can't make it out.
I have an 8.
All you just see is fog as you squint into the fog.
Grenier is going to roll then.
Alright.
Get that cord out of the way so it doesn't screw up my roll. Grenier rolled a 13.
13. So you managed to make out what looks like a mountain off in the distance, but you don't know if it's, the wind playing tricks on your eyes, the snow blurring your vision. You can't discern it. It might just be a snow mound, who knows? Mound of snow off in the distance or something.
Captain.
He's come up in his coat and he's shivering and he says, "I should have bought the more expensive one." And he says, "What?"
I'm going to attempt to clear away some of this fog. You better hold on to your butts.
He grabs onto the railing of the ship and says, "Whatever you do, don't hurt the ship. Remember, Alexo's on."
You better not.
I'm sure it won't hurt him too much. I'll try to be gentle, but I cannot make any promises.
What are you gonna do, Bernera?
You haven't gotten your sea legs yet. I suggest you hold on to something, sweetie.
She goes over to a railing and hangs on for dear life.
I like the Christ that helps.
Brooklyn, I suggest you do the same.
Like
Unless you
everyone
want your bones rattled.
Hold on, too.
Everyone that's holding on to something, Alexo makes the wood wrap around them a little bit, so they're held in a little better.
She jumps off the side of the ship
Onto the ice.
into the water.
There's no water. There's ice.
You're expecting water, you go for a dive, you crack your skull. The end.
No. You just land on the ice and kind of slip and slide across the ice.
Ragdoll.
Hell?
So
Oh,
you kinda-
that is irritating.
And you can barely see the mast of the ship as you look up and you're sitting on your butt, just kind of as you skid it across the ice.
All right, new plan. She's going to put her hand on the ice,
Mm-hmm.
and she is going to unleash an eldritch blast.
All right. Roll to attack the ice.
Okay.
The ice has 2,000 health. I don't think you can find this one, bro.
Which one's a D10?
The D10
this
is the percentile. Yep.
Oh, it's the percentile?
Yeah, not the percentile, but like the D10, which is this one.
The single-digit diamond, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so +2 to the modifier, so that the ice takes 6 damage.
6
impact.
damage. All right. The ice cracks around you a little bit, but as it cracks around you, you notice that your footing is kind of unsteady. You slip and fall straight into the water, and you are floundering as, for some odd reason, this water is sucking you in. It's pulling you down. As you're under the water, thrashing around. And nothing's grabbing you or anything. It's just the water seems to be malignant in nature.
Whirlpool.
Okay.
We cut back up to the top of the ship.
What's taking so long?
The captain leans over and says, Bernira, where are you? Bernira.
Alexo, just kind of, the wood just kind of lets go of everyone. I don't think we need this.
Where did Renero,
I don't know. He points to, like, the port side. And says,
I will go to the port side.
roll me a perception. Mm-hmm. What did you roll?
Love a Pete's dragon!
What?
That's a 6, because I rolled a freaking 2.
Damn.
You look over the side,
Yeah.
and you thought you heard something like cracking ice and someone being pulled under. But when you look, there's just a flat sheet of ice endlessly going across. And that's where we're going to have to end for today's game.
Oh, gosh, darn it!
Darn you.
Cliffhanger.
No, I want to find out what happened to Renero.
Oh, and I want to do more
Oh,
cool
trust
things.
me, the next time this game starts, there's going to be a surprise.
Yeah, it will be... When are we meeting for that?
So not the 12th, but the following week. After the 12th. Because
That's the
Realms is coming
19th.
out. The 19th,
Yeah.
yes.
The 19th.
Yep. Yep. Also, do you guys... I'm going to ask you guys this now. I know it's a little bit early, but what are your plans for... let me check the date when that's going to happen. Hold on. 19th. The 26th, we are not having a Shores because it's obviously the day after Christmas. So...
Well, that would be Shores anyway. That would be...
Realms, thank you.
Oh, right.
That
Yeah.
would be a Realms.
Yeah, so no Realms because of Christmas holiday. But the second we'll be picking up oh, actually, now I think about it, because it's New Year's.
No, that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the last week of December and the first week of January, I will not be available. I will be very busy.
Okay.
For my holidays, because of what's been going on, all of my holidays have been really, nothing. So actually, I'm pretty open for anything.
Yeah, I'm staying home
Alright.
for mine and like
Yeah,
visiting family by remote, so
true.
I'll be more or less available whenever.
All
It's
right.
just because usually a lot of my holidays are about family gatherings, but there's no gathering that can take place.
All right.
So the only time that we're actually meeting for an actual game is on the 12th?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
So,
the 12th and the 19th.
yeah, 12th and 19th. All right. So, for those of you watching, thank you for joining us for Shores of Sorrows. It was a very interesting cold one for our crew. And if you are interested in supporting our show, you are more than welcome to support us in any way possible. Financially, oops, did that wrong. You can join our Patreon for as low as $3 each month. And you can support our show. Any higher tiers, you can get Discord perks as well as cool things that we might be possibly giving away to people during our Realms game, such as, and if you'd like me to present it now, we're still in the planning setup stages for this, but we'll be giving away one deluxe package of DVDs, either the ISO file, which is the virtual disc, or a physical disc, which we will mail to you if you're in the US only. And it will have the hand-picked episodes of Realms on it, as well as a voice-acted line from each of our characters of their choice from Realms. So, and also I'll be having a special thank you video included in that from me, the showrunner, so that will be a giveaway item that we'll be doing for our Realms episode. And there will be a special keyword in the episode that you'll have to listen for that will be used as the unlock for that particular item. And we'll be asking for that at the end of Realms on the 12th. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. And don't forget, check out our Discord for... I'm butchering this command. There we go. Discord.
Okay.
And we'll see you guys next week. No, not next week. Actually, next week we are not having a game because I am doing a live stream, charity stream for a friend who is getting an, who lives in the Netherlands, or not the Netherlands. I'll have to check where he lives exactly, but he is in stage 3 liver cancer and is needing his liver replaced. And we are starting, a group of our people are starting a well, there's already a GoFundMe page, but we need your support to help him buy his liver, get his treatment done, and surgery and everything. So we're trying to fund that for him because he lives in a third world country where he cannot afford to do any of this. So your support is greatly needed, otherwise he will hopefully not be able to make it. And we want him to make it, so please support us in that effort as best as you can. And we'll be posting the information for that during the Realms game next week. I'm mixing things up, people, but on December 5th, we'll be having that live stream. We'll be playing Phasmophobia as well as other games all throughout the day. So there's a day-long celebration to support our friend Cody and the purchase of his new liver transplant. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time and sail the 7 seas. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.